Hey everybody, this is Tyson.
And Logan.
And you're listening to Dad Bods and Beards podcast. It's a show that gives you a fresh look on being a father, a husband, and honestly, a man being in today's world.
For people who want to have a good time, laugh, and be uplifted, thanks for subscribing and listening. Now for the show.
What up? This is Dad Bods and Beards. It's been a few weeks since we've actually recorded live in studio, but we've been having guests and after guests, which I'm grateful for. But today it's just me and Logan. I'm Tyson.
I'm Logan.
Yeah. And so today we just thought we don't really have anything in particular to talk about. I have some ideas. He has some ideas, but in reality, nothing is planned because we felt like we've been in so intense these past couple of weeks
Super
that
heavy.
we needed to do something a little bit more lighthearted. I think it was much needed for me.
Yeah, like super intense, but like good intense. Like it was therapeutic for me. You and I both got a ton of different messages from people that were like super uplifting and really nice, saying that they enjoyed the shows, which that makes me kind of lead back what I was texting you earlier. Like we owe you guys such a big thank you. Like the text messages, the Instagram DMs, the TikTok messages that Tyson and I get, basically just you guys building us up for the time that we've spent. And then Janae, who does all of our background editing, and the different people we've had on the show. It means so much from all of us to you that you take the time to listen and then give your feedback. Like letting us know that it's impacted you makes the world of a difference to us. Like it's hit home close to me this week. I know it hits home close to Tyson. Thank you. You guys mean so much to us.
No, the comments that we get in our DMs, the comments that we get in emails, it makes us keep going. And it's amazing. Like Logan, you told me about a comment that you received, and I won't say who it was from, but they said that they're having an issue with one of their children. And now, because they didn't know that Center for Change or something like that existed. Yeah. And because Dr. Hawkins was on and expressed and showed that, hey, there are places for our children and for us that need help. Now they're going to take their child to for Center for Change. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that was really nice to say. Just basically them saying that the quality of the content from, talking with Dr. Hawkins made such an impact that they're essentially taking what we talked about and trying to apply it to their life. And that makes me feel really good. I mean, it makes me feel sad at the same time for the situation that they're in. But I mean, whether it's that, the different comments we got about the mental health issues episode that we talked about, and just in general, dad issues, husband issues, friend issues, it's really rejuvenating for me to realize, like, hey, I think we've got something here. Just two buddies talking about our lives and realizing how much it like sticks for you guys out there that are listening. So thank you guys so much. It means the world to us, and it really helps us kind of keep going. It helps us make the time to do this because we enjoy doing it for you and we enjoy getting the feedback. So you guys are freaking awesome.
Absolutely.
But
had to hit that mute because I had a cough, because I'm still sick. I'm still sick after 3 weeks. I can't get over this.
If there's any random dead air, it's because Tyson is like hacking up a lung.
No.
And so he's hitting the mute button every time.
So true. Like it's just like a dry cough too. It's just like it just won't go. I don't know what's going on.
You got the Rona?
No, what's fun is not fun. But first of all, I don't know if you know this, but you know this, but I don't know if you know this. I almost died from Corona. I had the Delta variant. Yeah. I was in the hospital for 6 days, and they told me to say goodbye to my children and my wife, and they gave me an experimental drug, and it worked. And luckily, I'm still here. But so I know what that feels like, and this is nothing.
Had you died, we would have never had this podcast or anything else.
We never would have met.
We never would have met. Yeah. And the whole fatherless children and, all that stuff, like whatever.
Yeah. Just like my wife will get remarried. It's not a big deal. It's just the kids will get another dad.
Dude, when I caught I don't know what variant, year and a half ago or whatever. I thought it was, dude, I was like the biggest baby. Just fever, chills, crying, moaning, didn't have an appetite, and which for me to
Did you
not have
have
an
the
appetite.
convulsions, like the shakes, like? Did you
No.
have that at all, dude? I was like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were hospitalized. I was at home crying like a little girl. So,
as
but
you should.
on that note, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
That's true.
Dude, I texted. So, you know, I'm a big 49er fan. You are a Jets fan. I'm sorry. I really thought this was your year, buddy. Aaron Rodgers out and
4 plays in,
gone.
just
But
it's season's over.
so I've been telling my wife for weeks, like, hey, because she's a big Taylor Swift fan. Like, hey, this whole Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing. She's like, oh no, she's in, like all the rest of the Swifties. They're like, oh no, it's all speculation. It's all this, or whatever. And then when Taylor Swift just shows up to the freaking Chiefs game yesterday, and that's all literally anybody cared about. Like every time they scored a touchdown, they panned up to Taylor Swift, right? And all of the Travis Kelce's jerseys are now sold out everywhere by Swiftie fans. But I texted my wife.
I didn't know that.
Oh, well, yeah, because she's now his new boo. All of the Swifties are now Chiefs fans.
Makes sense to me.
But I texted my wife like mid-game and stuff while this was all going on, and I was like, I swear, if you start following the Chiefs, I'm not buying you like any more tacos. I'm not buying you any more food. Like, we are 49er fans in this house. Like, so
Dude,
I called it.
You can't get me laughing, or I caught.
Yeah. Just leave it in there. This is a real unedited.
I know, right?
Just
no, but
raw, fresh look.
Did you see him leaving with her at the end of the game, out of the tunnel? Oh, yeah. It looks so awkward. I'm just like, oh, he's so nervous right now.
Well, I guess it was kind of like their little first date or something like that.
Yeah,
but like, dude, in true like Taylor Swiftie fashion or whatever, they all like went off on TikTok about like analyzing his outfit and what it means, and it was like this subliminal message. And then I will say the dude did leave in style. He takes her out in a freaking top down like classic convertible. I'm like, all right, that was a baller move.
Well, yeah, when you're a multimillionaire, you can afford that.
Yeah, when you get paid 6 figures per game, literally.
Yeah, right. Did you see what Mahomes ESPN did an analyzes like what he made per minute, and I was like, holy crap, it's nuts. Like he makes $50.1 million a year, guaranteed, and then they kept dividing until it got to a minute, and it was like $100 some a minute, something like that. It was astronomical.
That's not fair. I mean, I'm not gonna be a crybaby, but like these guys, like the dude makes more money when he's pooping than I make in a year.
It's true. Did you? Okay, you are this has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, but it does. Okay, you are way into conspiracy theories.
Oh, I love them.
Okay, so a conspiracy theory I heard recently is nuts to me. I'm like, it made me think in my mind. I'm like, no, there's no freaking way. But it made me think back in the day when Rome was having issues internally, they would turn to the Colosseum. And so the president or the emperor and the senators would say, hey, it's time to have a games. And then they would turn and everyone would get together and come close and they would root for their people. They would root and scream and become one again. And they were talking about how all the sports get paid all these millions of dollars to create unity, to get rid of all the chaos that's going out in the world. That's what senators and the politicians are creating in order for us to ignore that. And I'm like, oh,
it's a distraction.
Yeah, that's weird.
But I love the 49ers and they are my distraction.
Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you think about the concept, right? Like the Coliseum, what are modern day sports stadiums and arenas? They're giant coliseums. And that's essentially what modern day sports is like modern day Roman and gladiator games. And they were a way of distracting the people. And they would bring them to the Coliseum and they would feed them and they would give them bread and wine and fruits and it would go on for days. And now the modern day application is we have constant professional sports. It's basketball and then it's football and then it's baseball and then it's soccer. And that's like, there's something for everybody. And then there's There's the VMAs and the AMAs and all these like award shows, and it's just constant.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I totally get it. I totally believe that it's like, yeah, it's all distraction because entertainment is distraction. But I'm addicted to my entertainment, so don't judge me.
Dude, I'm just happy that the writer's block or writer strike is over because
Is it?
Yes, they just happened today. It just said, hey, the strike is over just because I need some new TV. Like, because I miss some of my shows. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Have you ever seen Fire Country?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it's on Paramount now, or SEAL Team, or all those things that are on like Paramount. I absolutely love those shows. And they're just not around right now. And Ghost. Have you seen Ghost? Okay, you got to watch Ghost. It's hilarious. It's about a lady who inherits her mother's or her great grandma's house after she dies. She's with her husband, and they come here in this Podunkville place. And the ghosts are there right now. No one can see them. And they're trying to scare her to move because she's going to be creating Airbnb there.
I think I saw a clip on TikTok.
So she falls down and dies, but doesn't die, comes back to life, now can see the ghosts. And it's hilarious. And they're all from different eras of time. And it's just really funny.
That's funny. Well, see, I like shows. I'm kind of weird. I don't watch like the newest shows that come out, especially now with streaming services, and it's like a new episode every Thursday. Like, I let them build up so that I can watch them all at once, right? Or like, so
you're still in the Matlock?
To watch shows. Matlock? No.
Shut up! You've never seen Matlock?
Okay, one I'm watching right now it's on Peacock. It's called Resident Alien. It's so funny.
Oh,
did you ever watch that movie Dodgeball with Vince Vaughn and
who hasn't?
Do you remember the guy that played the pirate?
Yeah, he was also on the jousting one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
What was that called?
A Knight's Tale. Yeah. So he's actually like a voice actor. He does the voice of the chicken from the Moana cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's freaking hilarious. So he plays this guy that is like he plays an alien that is posing as a human to like learn stuff about people, get his ship fixed so that he can like literally eradicate the human population. So it's like he's like I'm ruining it for you, but it's so funny. Like he's like learning these human concepts as like an alien, but his comedy, like his voice, like all that stuff, like so I'm watching that because there's like
I'll have to check it out.
2 or 3 seasons on Peacock. So I was like, I can just kind of keep going with it.
And just so you know, you didn't get my joke because I thought it was funny, but Matlock is like 100 years old. It's like what my grandparents watched.
Oh, that's probably why I didn't get it.
Andy Griffith, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Andy Griffith show. Anyway. There you go.
Yeah, dude, I just watched Andy Griffith. Yeah.
All right, but I did send you a link. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
And I thought that was really interesting. So
it's all our fault.
Yeah, right.
So while Tyson's losing his breath over there, basically it was an article today. Not today. When was it? Yeah, today.
No, it was actually today about influencers are influencing men and the most to spend on beauty products and supplies. Basically, they're saying that men are so freaking global right now that they're spending twice as much as women are because of influencers. And in my mind, I'm like, it did say that in the article. I thought that was nuts. Like women are spending maybe $800 and we're spending like $2,400 on average for beauty care products as men.
Beauty care, huh? Not just like beard care. I guess there's a lot of guys that are.
No, we're talking about pomades. We're talking about face washes. We're talking about soaps. We're talking about all in all, just everything for our grooming standards. I would say is what they're talking about. So
I don't know. I think that's good, but I mean, I don't know. It may be mixed opinion. I think there's a lot of crap out there that guys 100%. Get roped into. I think there's a lot of gimmicks that guys fall for. You know, I think because we saw this at the Cosmoprof show. Like, there's like whenever we gave a beard oil sample, did you notice this? Whenever we gave a beard oil sample to some of the women, and we said it's great for your skin, they all immediately turned it over and looked at the ingredients.
Oh yeah,
because I think women for a long time have been more attuned to like what's in it, what's going on my skin, you know, like what's going in my hair, what's going on my face, yada yada yada. Guys are kind of like, oh, that's a cool picture of a beard and it smells real good. Like,
It's true though.
like the reason that some of these beard care companies and the other companies are doing so well is because they have really good marketing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the derma roller. Like I say this all the time. If the derma roller, right, the pokey face one, I know you can keep your mouth shut because I know you don't want to like, because I know you're in that field. I, as a consumer, if the derma roller worked and created more hair growth. Wow, I'm tired. The Kardashians would all have beards because it's just microneedling.
Yeah.
It's just promoting. Well, you know what it is. It's just promoting collagen growth in your face because the chemicals are destroying your freaking skin. Everyone's like, "Oh no, it promotes." No, it's just poking your face. It's not, unless it adds hair follicles with every little poke. It's not doing jack for you.
No,
That's my
the
opinion.
problem is so. For instance, when I started growing my beard the first time, I took what I thought was the best out there, like because of the way they marketed themselves, the way they everyone was perceiving, you know, like, hey, this is the best product out there. This is it. This is it. I'm like, okay, this is a little more expensive, but it's elite, and because it's elite, I want to be a part of it. And so I bought the product. I did. I thought I was doing everything right, which I was, and I was putting it on my beard, putting it on my skin. I went to the barber, and they're like, "Your beard is so crispy. Like, what are you doing? You need to put beard oil on it." I'm like, "I am. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I've done a lot of research on how to apply, how to do everything." And they're like, "This is not what it's supposed to feel like. You're not supposed to be able to feel your individual hairs on your beard. Like if you were to touch it like a huge grip, you're not supposed to be able to feel it." And I'm like, oh. And so he's like, you need to take some better quality stuff. And I'm like, and that's when I realized that I kind of fell for the trap where I went because these guys spend a lot of money on marketing. They must be the best. And from there, I started looking at ingredients and I started looking at stuff like that because that does matter. And there's a lot of crap out there, but there's a lot of good, amazing stuff out there. So it's hard to decipher.
Oh yeah.
And so I really, really liked this article where it talks about how men influencers are really shaping what we buy. And I never thought about that. And especially now that the writers, you know, how they've been on strike, not a lot of TV out there, not a lot of new stuff. And so what do we turn for entertainment? YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, just stuff because it's brand new. And so we're seeing a lot more content than we normally have because. And so I just thought that was an interesting article that us guys are getting a little bit more influence than we think we were.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, you think about it. Like, what's the average cost of a beard oil? Somewhere around the $20 to $30 range, right?
Yeah, I would say anywhere between 18 to 25 is on average.
Yeah. So you see an ad. You think it's you know, oh, it looks cool, whatever the reason that got you hooked. You buy it, you get it, you use it, you don't like it. There goes your money. And then you see another one, and you get another one. And then that's what I did. I've been growing my beard out for years, and I've used all of the big names. I've used every single one of the big names out there. Right? I found one a while ago that I stuck with for a while until I found Copper Johns. There's a little bit of a plug for you. And that's obviously where this all came from.
I know. I was like,
yeah, but that's what it is. It's like, dude, I literally had all of these balms and oils and butters and mustache waxes that I'd tried over the years. They were just sitting in a box underneath my sink. And I'm sure if I added those all up, it's just waste of hundreds of dollars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So you have all these different soap companies. You've got all, and now, dude, you go to Target and there's a whole dude section, like a whole display section of like all of these brands now. So I believe it. Like, so it's like, I think it kind of puts
you as a content creator. Also, you take on content, you watch stuff as well. How do we as men decipher the difference between good and bad, and also decipher this influencer knows what they're talking about, this influencer is just taking money, so therefore, you know, he's not really trying the product, he just took a check and now he's getting sponsored by him? How do you tell the difference?
I don't know. Maybe do do a little bit of investigating, see how many products that person pushes.
Ooh, that's
Because
a
if
good
they're
one.
pushing a bunch, how do you determine which is the best? Not that I'm saying you have to be exclusive, but that was one thing that I would just like, oh, this guy swears by this. I follow him and I go and look. I'm like, oh, but they also push 4 other of the same kind, which I got no problem with people making money on something they do. But that's where I'm kind of like, well, it's like a Google review.
Mm-hmm.
If someone leaves a really good review, that's great. You can click on their name and you can go see other things that they reviewed. And then you realize, like, oh, okay, they just kind of mass review a lot of different things. And sometimes you can be like, that guy definitely works there. That's the owner's wife. That's his brother. Like, people just kind of going through and reviewing things. So I think you just got to do a little investigating. Like, go and look at the actual consumer reviews on like Amazon or maybe third-party sites. But you know what? Look at the freaking ingredients. Do your homework. If you're gonna put it on your
Yeah.
face, you're gonna put it on your body. Like, dude, I used Old Spice for my entire adult teenage life, right? And I would get chemical burns in my pits, and I thought it was normal. Every now and then it would just happen, right? And
And
since I switched,
you had a chin strap beard.
and I what?
You had a chin strap beard.
What?
You had a
I
chin
did have a
strap
chin
beard.
strap beard, dude.
Did you really not
Dude,
hear
did
me,
you
or
see?
did
You
you
saw
want me
that?
to just keep saying it?
I had a chin strap beard. Is that what you said,
Yes.
dude?
Did
That followed me. That was my representation to Canada when I came in from the United States. So like, look at this guy. He's got freaking weird glasses and a chin strap beard.
Well, you should see my license. It's not any better.
Oh no, I've seen it multiple times. We should
Yeah.
post a picture of your license.
We
But no,
really should one of these days. This is what it looks like when you
I
have
just
done
think
drugs.
yeah. Remember the little commercials? This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Just to preface everyone, I wasn't on drugs. I was in a play with my son called Adam's Family. I was Lurch, and they made me shave my beard. And then I had to wear tons of makeup and eyeliner and eyeshadow and all this kind of stuff, and I couldn't get it off. I was in between shows, and I had to hurry and go and get my license done so I could go on a cruise for my anniversary in the next couple of weeks after that. And yeah, it is not. I've gotten out of tickets because how bad that picture is.
The best part is that it's still currently your current license. That's the best part.
Yes, until next month.
Next month? Okay, good. That's funny.
So I'm going to shave my beard, put some eyeliner on, just so I'm joking.
Just keep it going. It's kind of like the You've seen like those yearbook photos of the teacher who's been teaching for 30 years and he wears the same outfit. You should just do that every time. You just every time we're doing the same thing. But speaking of shaving, it's the 1-year anniversary since I shaved my beard off.
Dude, that's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy. Look how long this thing got, dude.
I know.
I measured it yesterday. It's
6 the girth.
6.5
huge.
Inches. 6.5 inches in a year that I grew.
Well, you grew a little bit more, but you got it trimmed.
I think, yeah. So I'd say probably closer to 7 inches because I did get about a 1/2 inch trim like 4 or 5 months ago because it was like weird. It was growing in like a weird shape. But this is the first time ever. Yeah, this is the first time ever that I have not undercut and like shaved my neck or like the sides of my jawline. So it's way thicker than it has ever been. Dude, it's way thick.
That is weird. I know. For some reason, I thought you said you haven't shaved your nipples, and I'm like, okay, thank you.
I don't shave those either.
I haven't shaved mine either.
I don't.
Hey, you want to know a fun fact about how I found out I had hair on my nipples?
What?
You want to find out? You want me to tell you how I found out I had hair on my nipples?
Because you looked down in the shower?
No. Okay, so look at my arms. You look at it. I am not a hairy person. Like even my beard is like, okay. Anyway, so I'm just not a hairy person, and so like all through high school and everything, everyone's like, "Do you shave your legs?" I'm like, "No, I don't shave. I just don't have a lot of hair." Anyway, so therefore, I'm working outside. I'm doing construction. I'm doing siding, soffit, and rain gutter. I'm working everything, and I'm up about 20 feet in the air on some scaffolding, putting some soffit in, which goes underneath the house. It kind of connects the trusses so that it looks good. Yeah. Gives it some kind of, good views. Anyway, point being, I am sitting here stapling the soffit in, and before I put it in the fascia, and all of a sudden I get this little itch on my nipple, and I'm like, what the crap? And I look down and I see this spider, and I'm freaking out, and I'm like, I'm doing 20 feet in the air, and I'm like hitting myself, I'm hitting my nipple, and I'm shaking my shirt, and I'm like, okay, it's gone. And I shake it out, and then all of a sudden, about going in a couple more minutes, I start getting that tickle again. I'm like, what the crap? And I threw my shirt off this time in the air. I'm 20 feet in the air. The ladders are shaking like crazy. Everyone's nervous. Like, what the crap is going on, Tyson? A lot of choice words. That's not what was being said. And I'm sitting here hitting, and I look down, and I just start laughing so hard because it was hair coming out of my nipple.
Just one
No,
single hair.
It was like 6. I looked like a dandy long leg coming out of my. And I'm just like, oh no! I was so embarrassed. Needless to say, that's when I found out I was a man. I can't laugh.
Dude, meanwhile, I have like a phoenix rising from the ashes growing on my chest.
Yeah.
Like it literally
it
comes straight up and then like spreads across my chest. So.
Well, when I hit 30, then I got wings. For some reason, I just have lots of hair on my shoulder blades.
That's so funny. That's fun. That reminds me of this is probably really embarrassing. I shouldn't say this. But I was so self-conscious before my wedding night because I have a decently hairy back too, right? This took a really weird turn for the podcast.
No, seriously though.
So here I am. I'm 23. I'm getting married the next morning. I'm staying at my parents' house, and my little sister still lives there. She's about 4 years younger than me, so she's 19. I'm like, Whitney, I need you to do me a favor. She's like, what? And this is like midnight. I'm like, I need you to shave my back. Because I was not about to go into my honeymoon with this big hairy back. Because like the hairy chest is one thing. That's like a manly thing for me.
Yeah.
But I just have always felt so self-conscious about my back. Even to this day, like before the summer and stuff like that, I will have my wife like buzz down my back before we go to the pool or go to the beach or whatever. And I just remember like in that moment, I'm like, I must have my sister, she's a sweetheart because she did it. But I just was like, she must like have that as like an ick moment her entire life. Like, yeah, my brother made me shave his back before he got married. So yeah, it's
dude, I can't laugh, man.
I can't make you laugh. I can't tell you that, but so that'll go down in history as one of those like you think back and you're like, oh,
the cringe moments.
Yeah.
So Candace, Candace every year, I don't care if my back's hairy. I don't care. But she does. And so anytime we go in a public setting, she's like, and she knows my shirt's coming off. She always like, hey Tyson, let me hear you shave your back. She makes me go sit in stand in the tub, and then she shaves. And the first time that happened, I looked down, and it looked like she shaved my head. There was that much hair, and I'm like, what the crap? That is so much hair. And she's like, yeah,
dude,
that's
we
what
should do we should do a like a remake of the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and like next time we both need it, just like film us getting our backs waxed.
Well, Destiny at the barbershop, she said she would wax our backs.
No, I'm not going to put her through that because she'll never cut my hair again.
No, she won't. But it'd be funny.
Can you imagine someone walking in and there's just me laying across one of like the waiting room benches, and she's just waxing my back?
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure this is not hygienic. Like,
no, not at all. But we do have a master esthetician now, and I got this little machine. The only master
master what?
Esthetician. Shut up! I'm not.
There you go. Good job, buddy.
Anyway, point being, only master estheticians can use it. I can't. Anyway, got this machine that only she can use, or anyone with a degree as a master esthetician. Anyway, and it sucks really, really hard. It's like this little thing, and it sucks all like your blackheads and all your crap out of your nose and everything. And I'm like, so we're going to start offering that, and I'm really excited because she's going to be doing a facial on me every month.
Oh, I just love how you say esthetician.
Esthetician.
There's like a little like emphasis, like esthetician. Oh,
Hey,
I'm tired. Can you tell?
yeah, I think we're all tired.
Oh, that's so
Hey,
funny.
good
No, it's
news.
cool. No, what?
I don't
Good
know.
news, crickets.
No. I was debating if I'm going to tell everyone because you know the good news.
Oh, what you
We
texted me
hired
earlier?
some people. No, that we hired some people. Did I text you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. You just spill the beans. You just said good news and you didn't say nothing.
Well, yeah. Sheesh, guys, this is stupid.
This week
All
brought
right.
to you by cough syrup.
So Copper Johns is growing. And with that, I have become very, very burnt out. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's been very, like, I work now, not because I want to, but because I have to.
Yeah.
I'm just worn out all the time. And with that comes, things that I need to get off my plate. And so I hired someone to help me with my emails and help me with just the day-to-day chores, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? I hired someone to help in the lab, and she was here for 8 hours, 9 hours today, and she helped me make a ton for stuff that, we had to fulfill by Amazon. We had to do all the FBA stuff and get that sent out, which is like 600 oils, 600 butter, 600 bombs this week.
Holy cow.
And so she's doing all that. And then, we just hired some salesmen. I'm really, really excited for it. You're going to be included in that. You are included in that. And I'm really, really excited just because there's so much potential now. And it's really exciting. And I'm excited to see what happens. And the one thing I did want to talk to you about is managing and you as managing, what you're doing, and then also running a company and kind of the struggles that you see, what I see, the benefits of what you see and I see and stuff like that, just because it's not all just fun. And so I think a lot of people see the benefit. Hey, they've been working, all this kind of behind. They don't see behind the scenes. They just see us on lives and chats and stuff like that and all happy, which we are happy. But they don't see the hard work and what's going on underneath and all that kind of stuff. So I thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about.
Yeah, I think one thing that so I don't own the company I work for. I work for my brother, who's the primary owner. He built this company like 8 years ago, but I help him run it. So I help run the day-to-day logistics. I help put out the fire. I'm definitely a gopher, which means I go for this, I go for that, I go for this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm running around. And right now, my brother is on a much deserved vacation for him because he works really hard. So me and our main project manager are running the show. And then our main kind of foreman. So it's kind of all hands on deck. So some of the guys that normally we all handle our regular jobs, we all kind of like stepped up to like multi-communication to just kind of make sure that things are still pumping along. But man, it's one thing I remember my brother talking to me about is the comment sometimes, and I'm sure you get this because people just assume when you have a business, you have money or things are going great, or just because the appearance of things, it's that comment of like, oh, it must be nice. I know that comment can trigger a lot of business owners because a lot of you guys, you don't have any free time. Literally all of your free time goes into what you're trying to build. So I think that kind of getting to see behind the curtain of like from an owner's perspective, but not having any like actual vested money in it. Like I get why some people are afraid to start companies, to start businesses, to take risks, because you put literally everything on the line. And then, I mean, you think about there are entire families that rely on a paycheck that come from you if you own a company. And if you go under, you have to tell those people, hey, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to find something else. And they get all mad thinking, oh, hey, this is, how am I going to support my family? And it's kind of like, dude, you know what kind of debt I got to pay back now that I just lost this business? Like there's so many things that weigh on your shoulders. Like I can't imagine that. So
what's funny is I've never got must be nice. I'm not to that point in my business, I think, to be able to someone to say that. I've never had people.
you have had people come at you expecting you to have money and that you should just kind of hand it to
Oh,
them.
100%. I've never
Yeah,
got that. It
same
must be
concept.
nice, but no, I get people. I wouldn't say daily, but I would definitely say 2 or 3 times a week asking for money. I've asked
Sure.
people have asked me to pay for their wife or girlfriend to get out of jail for me to pay their bill. That was the weirdest thing
No
I've ever
way.
had. Yeah. But overall, I think like people will say, hey, I'm about to lose my house. I need to get rent. And there's some that are true friends, like, hey, I got you and I'm going to help you. This is
Sure.
coming out of my personal finances. This is not coming out of Copper John because we're strapped. And so I've helped that way, but I've never made a dime from Copper Johns yet. And do people do now that we're starting to grow? I have invested a lot more money into growing it. So hopefully that stuff will grow and it'll start paying me, paying the company, paying for more employees and stuff like that as we grow. But people now there's this community of bearded men that know me, that get me, that understand, and they are wonderful human beings, and I love them to death. And then there's those that see me just on social media that aren't a part of it, that sometimes will come and treat you very inconsiderate, very rude, very brash. They act like you are Copper Johns. I'm like, dude, I'm not Copper Johns, man. Copper Johns is a company, and yes, I do own it, but dude, we can only do so much. And so, like, one guy got really mad. I gave him a discount when he shouldn't have got a discount. He didn't like the cents, and I said, okay, I'll give you the unscented just because you said you don't like this. And he's like, well, I want to return them. I'm like, I can't take them back. You've already opened them. What would I do with them? I would just throw them away. So you can give them away or just throw them away or whatnot. And then he went off and just literally went off and just talked about how bad of a person I am and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what did I do? Like, and things like that. The things like that get to me sometimes, but sometimes they don't. But sometimes they do. But I don't think. But for all in all, it's been a blast, and I absolutely love it. The things that I worry about the most is taking care of people. Last person I worry about is me. I worry about making sure all the employees get their pay. I worry about, am I giving them enough? And so I do give bonuses every now and then. I make sure, like, the barbers have lunches. I pay for lunches. I pay for drinks. I give them gift cards. Even the people the people who's doing the other stuff, like, I make sure that they get bonuses and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I just feel guilty that they're just working so hard. And I don't know. I worry about that. And that's the stuff that always weighs on me. And then eventually it's just, you get so tired. It's like, is this ever going to pan out? Because you see it, you feel it, but it never really happens. And so that's the stuff that weighs on me.
Well, I think that says a lot to your character, though. I mean, that's why the people who know you love you as much as we do, because you literally give off like genuine vibes. Like, you literally want the best for people, to the point where you turn around and dump everything that you have back into the baby you've created, and speaking from experience, you take care of the people that help you nurture that baby. You know what I mean? That's why I feel so driven to do what I do, to help you every now and then. And I I honestly, I mean, this is kind of taking an interesting spin, but like, I've said this until I was blue in the face, like, don't sleep on Copper Johns. To, like, you guys who are listening, like, it will literally be one of the biggest beard care brands out there. Like, the growth that Tyson has seen in the last few years, and then where it's going, and understanding the beard care market. Like, I love seeing the comments on social media of like, oh, I can't wait for the beard craze to be over. I'm like, dude, you have no idea what the market is currently doing in the men's grooming. I mean, there was we just talked about the article, like, the men's grooming and like beard care, hair care, skin care market has exploded. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And so there's a little bit of a blurb for you, but it's kind of like, I see
it's going to more than double in the next few years.
Well, and like I said, I see the similar things like with my brother because I see behind the curtain, and like my brother shares a lot of the ups and downs with me, tells me, which is a lot of great experience. I mean, for me to like see behind the curtain of like how things are going, how things are running, and just seeing like the immense stress that guys like you go through, and then you have to go home and not try to bring that to your family, and sometimes you
Mhm.
do. It's hard. I mean, I bring my stress home. I have a not trying to discount myself to you. Like I put in a lot of work with that
You do.
company. I I
You're the
I've
number
had a
two.
lot of I've had what?
You're the number two. Like you do a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's funny is there was kind of this little planning meeting. I got super sick last week. I had told you that.
Yeah.
And I missed this planning meeting between my brother, our project manager, our main superintendent, and then me, who's a logistics, daily operations manager. I missed it. And I guess our superintendent that I'm good buddies with, he's a big Polynesian guy. Huge football player. And he told me, he's like, when they were going through the meeting, my brother kept, what about this? Oh, I'll have Logan do it. That was my brother's comment to everything. Like, oh, Logan can take care of that. And then it hit a
Yeah.
point where John was like, I mean, I can help. Like Logan doesn't have to do everything. But like, that's kind of my brother's mentality sometimes is he knows that he can rely on me and I do the best I can to just take care of everything
Hmm.
so that he has more time to focus on, you know, getting the money, making sure the business is growing, doing more personnel stuff, HR stuff. So it's just, it's just funny. It's kind of like, oh, Logan will do it. Oh, Logan will do it. Oh, Logan will do it. I'm like, yeah, I got it. I'm not burnt out. I'm fine.
So let me ask you this: does your brother? So for me, I was just thinking about when you were talking about this. I personally have an emotional investment with people.
Sure.
And like influencers, like we were just talking about, stuff like that, family, things like that. And then sometimes they get upset with me because they feel like I should go a different route where they don't know the whole entire scope of things.
Mm-hmm.
They just see one little glimpse. Does your brother feel that pressure from family or feel that pressure from influencers or feel that pressure from anyone, and does it affect him? Because that, I would say, is what gets me the most.
What I would say is like I think he feels a lot of pressure in general, right? Because like I said,
100%. I get that pressure a lot.
yeah. So I think one thing that's important to remember, especially for people that work for somebody else, even if you're in a managing position, you don't know the full story. And I try to give my brother the benefit of the doubt. We've had headbutts. And just last week, he and I sat down, and it's very awkward. He and I sat down to be like, hey, this is my pay situation. This is something we talked about. This is something we need to talk about. This is where we're at. This is the economy. This is how much I need to make. Like, it's kind of a weird, I mean, we're getting to the point where being adults where our age gap really isn't mattering anymore. Like, I'm not so much the younger brother. Like, we're both
Just brothers.
we're both in our 30s. Like, we're both
Yeah.
adult men now. It's not like, oh, my older brother, like, we're both married with kids. Like, and I know he relies a lot on me. So I always have to remind myself that I don't know the full story. I don't have anything on the line like he does. I didn't build this company. And at the end of the day, if this all goes under, I'm going to have to find a new job. He would probably lose his house.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to remind myself that I do have I know where my place is, but at the same time, I still need to be able to step up and say what I need to say because we do have an agreement. He is still my employer. He is still someone that has a contractual obligation to me and what he agreed to compensate me with. So I think it's just finding the balance. But I think at the end of the day, it has to come down, and this could be applied to any employer or employee situation. It's not your freaking company. If you don't like something, you got to know your place. And if you're not okay with it, move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's business is business and there's not like if I've said this to guys before, like when I managed a trucking company and there was guys that had opinions. Opinions are valid. Everyone deserves to have their opinion heard, but it doesn't mean that they're not above reproach. It doesn't mean that you can't have a response come back to you that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I had guys that would come at me all the time about our pay structure with the trucking company. I didn't set the pay structure, but as the manager at the time, it was still my responsibility to be the first line of defense before it got to the owners. there was this one guy who was so frustrated about the pay structure, and he'd been working for us for 2 weeks, if that. And he was like riling up the other drivers, like just literally like this little dictator. Like, I'm like, and I kind of pulled him aside and I was like, look, if you think your ideas are so great, go start your own company. If you think these guys who have got millions of dollars on the line are doing it wrong, but yet you're coming to them for a paycheck, if you think you're doing it so much better than them, quit your job, start your own. That, I think, puts it into perspective. Not everybody can do that, and I'm not saying that just because you can't start a company you don't have good ideas, but I think it's on how you deliver it.
Yeah.
I think if you come at something with the wrong attitude, it's not going to be heard. It's not going to be understood.
Well, I 100% know I don't know everything. And I need to bring good people on board to do stuff for me that I don't know how to do. I don't understand. And I would love, like you, Logan, I call you occasionally. I call my family occasionally and a few others. I'm like, hey, this situation, what should I do? And I ask for advice because really it's just you. But I'll ask for advice because I'm just like, I've never been in this situation. I don't know what the right answer is. And usually there's not necessarily a right answer. There's kind of like a good, better, best. And they're all good options. Just what do you do? And like dealing with management, like the management, like as a, as the owner, you manage a team. And for right now, and then eventually you'll have someone between you two, so that they can manage the team. But I've had asked questions about that because I'm like, hey, I've never had to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
What do we do?
Well, and I think, like you said, I mean, you put people in positions that are valued. Like there's our main project manager. He has got a ton of experience, like high up at a big excavation company as a longtime operator. He knows what he knows. I know what I know. I don't know what I don't know. That's the thing is, I think it comes down to like, you do put people in positions where their opinions do matter. But at the end of the day, it all falls back on the guy who signs the checks.
Yeah.
To decide to take all that information and make their best educated decision. There are some people that don't do that very well. And sometimes I've had much better ideas with my experience in logistics get shot down. And then later it comes up like kind of a I told you so situation. I didn't go there before, but that's the point, is that regardless of the fact that maybe he's my brother and I have more experience in the trucking world, I have more experience with this and this and this, I still have to understand at the end of the day, he can tell me that's not what we're doing. And I have to be okay with that. And we've had times where it's been like, okay, fine, whatever, I don't care. And then there's been times where I've been like kind of upset or annoyed about it. So I think it's all a give and take. I think anybody who's ever close off to opinions, especially from like a management team that you employ, like that's just kind of a toxic work situation, like a dictatorship more than like a team.
Yeah.
But it's give and take. I think I've worked for some really good people, and I've worked for some people that I would love to punch in the mouth.
Yeah.
So,
well, see, and I believe in an open door policies and all that kind of stuff. But I think also kind of like you said, unsolicited advice that is presented to me sometimes doesn't go well because of the way it's presented.
Sure.
Where it's more of a slap in the face, you're a moron, rather than, hey, I would like to help. And I think that's the hardest thing for me that I deal with currently.
Yeah. No, and I think sometimes that kind of advice can be helpful because it can give you a different perspective. But at the same time, I think everything has to be taken with a grain of salt, because I don't know. I'm kind of on the kick. I mean, you saw my TikTok post.
Oh,
I'm kind of on the very like anti-unsolicited opinion train right now. You know what I mean? Like, I think that if you're dropping your opinion on someone's life who didn't ask for it in a negative way, like there's the door.
Yeah.
Like, this life is so freaking hard right now that I think that if you're not trying to help someone or build someone up in a positive way, not like a snowflake way, like not showing someone the hard way, or not showing someone, something they need to hear or they say, but just to like beat someone down, like I'm right, you're stupid, like this is a bad, whatever. I think that's never productive ever.
No, I agree. I there is a fine line. And I think the way it's presented is like, if it comes out of love, like, hey, man, let's say they came to me and say, Tyson, I'm worried about your health.
Sure.
I'm worried that you're not going to be around much longer if you don't start taking care of yourself. I love you and I want your family to make sure that you're there. I would take that and I'm like, thank you. I understand you're worried about me. Would my feelings be hurt? Probably, because I've been working on it right now. You know what I mean? And I've lost 40 pounds. But I would understand where they're coming from as a place of love rather than, dude, Tyson, you're fat. What the crap are you doing? And then I'm just like, so jerk, you're ugly. You know, I'm like, well, there's a difference in the way you're presenting it.
I think there's tact. You just got to have tact. Yeah, dude, I think you can apply that concept in so many different places of like, think of you. Some people forget that when it comes to starting a company, and I'm not speaking from experience. I don't have some big company. I don't have a bunch of employees. I've kind of worked my way up at a few and kind of ended up being number 2 at a couple different places. Like this, like with you, man, it's their baby. Like this is what somebody's banking on to provide an income / eventually retirement for their family. So it's like, you got to be prepared that if you get in the way of that, like I understand the concept that even though he's my brother, I am replaceable.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to be cold hearted about it. Like we're not at a point where like we would ever like me getting fired, but it's like, if it came down to it, like he has to keep moving his business forward with or without me, which means if I ever found another opportunity or I started my own thing or whatever, you know, it is what it is. No hard feelings, because he would want what was best for me. So I think it just comes down to looking at something through someone else's eyes before you just make like a super hard stance on something.
Dude, the hardest thing I've ever had to do was fire a person. The first couple of people I had to fire, that was hard. Like one stole from me. Yeah. Out of the till. And then the second one wouldn't respond, talk, mean, aggressive, all that kind of stuff. Very passive aggressive. And I had to let them go. And I'm just like, holy crap. Those were really, really hard. Now I'm to the point where I'm like, you're hurting the company. We need to let you go. Yeah.
No, I had to do that with the trucking company once or twice. Thankfully I don't have to deal with that. With my brother's company, because he's 100% over personnel and I'm completely fine with that. But at the trucking company, I did have to let 1 or 2 guys go. One of them was like a safety issue. It was just like, buddy, I'm sorry, I can't. You're driving a 120,000 pound truck that's 90 feet long. Like we can't have that. Like we can't have you doing what you're doing. But yeah, it was, I mean, you feel bad because I've been on the receiving end of being let go when I was younger. You know, it wasn't a performance thing. It was just like, you know, it's hard. So I can't imagine. I can't imagine getting that right now, being a little bit more established. But I didn't like the feeling after. I felt bad, but it's like, it's business. Like, sorry.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie though. Me doing this right now, I'm kind of liking my arms.
This is why we need it. I can't wait till we get to the point where we have like a studio, like where we sit in and like there's regular cameras, because you guys can't. Tyson's got his arms up on his head and he's flexing his biceps at me. So
yeah, flexing them hairy nipples.
It's cute, bud. Love it. We always say we're gonna do like a lighter episode, and then you're like, "Hey, let's talk about a super important concept I've been thinking
Let's talk about abortion." No,
okay, cut that out. No. One thing we promise you is we are never going to get political.
No, that's what I mean. Is like, let's talk about politics.
Which, dude, I mean,
I am going to say this though, and I'm really excited for it because I think it's a train wreck waiting to happen. Governor Newsom and Governor DeSantis, so California and Florida, are going to have a debate.
Oh, that'll be fun.
I know. It'll be like, it's like two
literally opposite ends of the spectrum.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. No, I'm not looking forward to the whole. I hate election years because it's just all you.
It's miserable.
Everything. Okay.
It's so divisive too. No matter who you're for, it's divisive.
I cannot stand, and I will never give it more than a half of a second through scrolling, is the people that do like the TikTok and Instagram lives where they like put the flag of who they're like pro, whether it's this guy or they're that guy or the red or the blue or the independents.
I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen that.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's like they just sit there in the live and they're like, they'll put like some super politically charged statement of like, prove me wrong, or I'll end this live when someone proves to me that this is false, or like, it's literally just the clickiness of clickbait. And I'm just like, ugh, like it's just for me.
Lives I get.
What? Oh, the
Disneyland.
Disneyland lives or the scratching, the lottery scratch offs.
or now lately it's been find these 5 things in this picture, and I'm like, what? And now look, I'm like, there's only 4.
Exactly.
I'm just like, okay, I'm done with you guys.
See, I respect the game of the people doing that, because like you don't realize how much money they're making doing that right now.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, as somebody who like really tries hard and like tries to plan and make content that people enjoy, bugs the heck out of me.
Dude, you like, plan a lot and you put a lot of work
you and your trash content. Get out of my page. Like,
a lot of people just do clickbait. That's what it is.
No, I had I was a little happy with one of the ones I posted the other day. It did pretty good. The one about like, a bit like the body positive for thick guys, like big boys.
That one, you using the blow dryer or the dryer, like the air hose.
No, the air compressor.
Your beard and everything. Dude, that was hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny is like my brother's my nephew. He walked in because our shop is at my brother's house. Like he has our big shop is in the back of my brother's property, and my nephew walks in while I'm doing that, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like 9.
You're an idiot.
I'm like, get out of here, dude.
You don't understand.
I'm like,
what man does.
It's for TikTok. It's for shut up.
But no. So last thing, I think it's hilarious that one of the punishments for our fantasy football league was you're going to have to do a lip sync of Celine Dion.
Oh man.
And it's going to be so embarrassing. And in my mind, I'm like, this is going to be fun. I hope I lose.
Dude, you crushed it.
Dude, I had so much fun. Candace was laughing so hard when she brushed my cheek. And it's like we tried to make it identical to what Celine Dion did. And so I'm excited. I'll post that on Wednesday. I'm
a little upset that we're not at the point yet where we're like streaming this or like putting this on YouTube, because it's like it would be one of those things kind of like with Joe Rogan. I'm like, Jamie, can you pull this up? Like I would want to be like, Janae, can we put this up here? Like, because like you need to post that on your page, because it was so well done. Like, as I've done a few Celine Dion lip syncs just for fun on my page, and like that topped all of mine. That was beautiful. I didn't crying.
Know she had a dress with a little drape over her, so I just put the beard or the barber
the cape
on, and it was so stupid.
Dude, I was like scream laughing at that when you sent it to me. So, but no, I think it's hopefully this was like more of a just more laid back, listen as you guys are driving doing nothing episode. We like the good content we've been putting out with some like really good information, and obviously it's hit home for a few of you guys. So we still plan to still be ourselves and still just talk and BS. But this has just been a therapeutic experience, dude. We've been doing this for a few months now, and
we have.
I really like it. So
how many episodes are we in?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like 18, 19, a million? $1 million?
No, but I think it's fun. It's like I said, if hopefully soon we start getting sponsors that help get you and Janae paid and stuff like that. And
yeah,
but yeah, I mean, we keep getting ratings, we keep getting people commenting, and I just appreciate you guys. If you would, those who listen till the very end, if you guys could please give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, comment on whatever whether it be Spotify, Apple, whatever program you listen to, please just give us a thumbs up, 5 stars, and give us a reason why you like us. That would be amazing. I really would appreciate that.
Don't give us a reason why you don't like us. I don't need that negativity in my life right now.
Yeah. They talked about this and this and this.
These guys are so lame. I'm just This is gonna be like, I think this is episode 17. And I'm like, yeah, you know the one where like Tyson and Logan were like super tired. Yeah, I don't like that episode.
Yeah, that's this one.
So
I gotta admit, the fart chills one was one of my favorites.
You guys. Now we'll end it with this. We talked about that episode. We talked about Twilight. You guys think that we were joking, but Tyson and I regularly send each other Twilight TikToks.
We really do.
Like we're both on Twilight TikTok. So
I do get a lot of that. It's hilarious. I just got a couple. I think I sent you one or two this week.
This is how you can tell we are true friends. The fact that we both enjoyed Twilight as adult grown men before we met.
Yes, seriously.
And it's like, oh, I read all the Twilight books. Oh, me too.
And I am so happy about it. I am excited to see the new Hunger Games one.
Yeah, that'd be good. No, I like that kind of stuff. I think it's fun. Yeah. We're all just little teenagers at heart.
My wife laughs. If it's not teenage drama, Tyson ain't watching it. It makes me laugh. I'm like, it's kind of true. If it doesn't have vampires, werewolves, or something like that, and that has nothing to do with teenagers in high school, I'm not watching it.
Yeah, you watch. I mean, we did do a High School Musical TikTok, and it did do pretty well. So
it really did.
And we both already knew all of the words before we did the TikTok. So I know we like ended this podcast like 2 minutes ago and then got into another weird topic. So
no, but what's funny though is so Isaac or Porter's in high school right now, and I went to go pick him up, and they are like so small and tiny and little like babies still, and it cracks me up. Like that's not what Edward looks like in high school.
No. How long have you been 17?
Yeah,
a while. A long time.
It's so stupid.
It is, yeah. No, I don't feel like I looked like a baby in high school, but
no, you had your chin strap.
No, I did have a little bit of a chin strap. But
yeah, it was amazing.
Almost as amazing as all of you that listen to our BS. So
thank you so much for listening, guys. It means the world to us. If you have a chance, please give us a 5-star review, as well as write something a little pretty in there so that we know that you know that we know that you care. Anyway, have a great day, guys. I can't do it.
Dude, that was good. I like that. You can't redo it without laughing. That was good.